Jammu Links News Top Stories is brought to you by Tasya Herbals alcohol-based hand sanitizer with neem and aloe vera extracts, helping India fight COVID-19. Former Union Minister and senior BJP leader from Uttar Pradesh Manoj Sinha, who was on Thursday appointed as Lieutenant Governor of Jammu and Kashmir, will be administered the oath of office on Friday at Raj Bhavan, Srinagar. Sources said 61-year-old Sinha, who arrived in Srinagar in the afternoon after his appointment, will be administered oath by J&K Chief Justice Geeta Mittal at Raj Bhavan. The warrant of appointment of Sinha will be read out by Chief Secretary BVR Subramaniam. A Bharatiya Janata Party Sarpanch was shot dead by terrorists in South Kashmir district of Kulgam on Thursday. Sarpanch Sajjad Ahmed Khande, who was also the Vice President of Kulgam district, was fired upon by terrorists from a close range when he was returning from his home at Kazigund. Khande, who had received 5 bullets, was immediately rushed to District Hospital Anantnag, where doctors declared him brought dead. The attack came a day after when BJP leaders and workers celebrated the first anniversary of abrogation of Article 370 and 35A on Wednesday. The Enforcement Directorate on Thursday launched multiple raids in connection with a money laundering case linked to an alleged bank fraud probe against Hilal Rathar, son of former Jammu and Kashmir Minister Abdul Rahim Rathar. The raids were conducted at 16 locations in Kashmir, Jammu, Delhi and Ludhiana. The CBI has alleged that Hilal Rathar entered into a criminal conspiracy with then officials of the J&K Bank to get loans of rupees 177.68 crores approximately in violation of rules and guidelines. Pakistan has adopted a new technique of sending arms and ammunition to Jammu and Kashmir using unmanned aerial vehicles, and several such incidents have been detected in the recent past, Director General of Jammu and Kashmir Police Dilbagh Singh said on Thursday. The police chief said such incidents of Pakistani UAVs carrying weapons were detected in Kupwara, Hiranagar, Kathua and Rajouri. He also said less than 200 terrorists are currently active in Jammu and Kashmir and just 26 terrorists could enter the Union Territory from across the border so far this year. Local residents of Ward number 1 and 2 along with shopkeepers of the area today held a protest demonstration against the decision of Mubarak Mandi Jammu Heritage Society to restrict the free movement of people in the complex by installing 2 iron gates. The protesting residents raised slogans against the director Mubarak Mandi Jammu Heritage Society and district administration for allegedly harassing the people to hide their failure and corrupt practices being committed while executing renovation work on the mega structure. As many as 504 separatist leaders who had been detained following the abrogation of Article 370 provisions a year ago were released after they signed bond of good behavior, Jammu and Kashmir Police Chief Dilbagh Singh said on Thursday. Singh also said out of the 350 separatist leaders and stone pelters who had been sent to jails in other states, only 50 to 60 continue to remain behind bars and the rest were released. Those who sign good behavior bond are bound to maintain peace and not indulge in any violent or separatist activities after being released from jails or home detention. District Development Commissioner Dr. Sagar D. Doifode handed over motorized tricycles, prosthetic aid to 11 specially abled persons of district at a distribution camp organized by District Social Welfare Department. Speaking on the occasion, the DDC said that the specially abled persons are the part of the society and every individual should assure their well-being. He said that the aid like motorized tricycle will empower the specially abled persons and enable them to live in society with dignity and honor. The Defence Ministry has admitted transgression by the Chinese army into the Indian territory in different parts of eastern Ladakh, including Pangwang Tso, Gojra and Kungrang Nala areas. The document was uploaded on the ministry's website very recently, and it is the first time that Rajnath Singh-led ministry has admitted officially about the transgressions by the Chinese troops. The Reserve Bank on Thursday kept interest rates on hold to contain elevated inflation, even as it allowed banks to restructure some corporate and individual loans as part of efforts to revive the economy that faces its first contradiction in more than 4 decades. It also raised the limit of loans that can be availed against gold ornaments and jewelry and announced additional liquidity measures over and above those that have already been taken to reduce the asset liability challenges in the NBFC sector over the last 3 to 4 months. With a single-day spike of 56,282 new COVID-19 cases and 904 deaths in the last 24 hours, India's COVID-19 tally reached 19,64,537 on Thursday. With the increase of 904 deaths, the toll due to the disease now stands at 40,699 in the country. The COVID-19 count includes 5,95,501 active cases and 13,28,337 cured or discharged or migrated patients. Meanwhile, the percentage of discharged patients stands at 67.62%, while the active cases are at 30.31% in the country as of today. Television actor Sameer Sharma, best known for his roles in Kyunki Saas Bhi Kabhi Bahu Thi and Left Right Left, was found dead in his home in suburban Malad, where he lived alone, police said on Thursday. The 44-year-old was found hanging from the fan of the kitchen on Wednesday night. He may have been dead for 2 days before he was found. Efforts were on to get in touch with the family of the actor, who had been living alone since February. District Development Commissioner Ramban Nazim Zai Khan on Thursday convened a meeting of district and sectoral officers to discuss arrangements for celebration of Independence Day 2020. The meeting also decided that in view of COVID-19 pandemic, there will be no participation of school and college students in the National Day celebrations as a precautionary measure. It was also decided that district administration would facilitate COVID warriors in recognition of their services at different levels during pandemic in the district. The BCCI on Thursday suspended the IPL title sponsorship deal with Chinese mobile phone company Vivo for the event's upcoming edition amid soaring Sino-India diplomatic tensions. The BCCI sent out a one-line statement without giving any details to say that Vivo will not be associated with the IPL this year.